Hi, thanks for checking our channel. This is going to be hopefully a repair video on this unit. It's a PEL 100 power fencer. This thing is from the 1980s. This PEL was its own brand. They're a New Zealand company. They were their own brand for a long time, and then they got swallowed up. I think Speedrite or StayFix bought them when Speedrite and StayFix were their own brand. And of course, True Test acquired Speedrite and StayFix and PEL, you know, under their umbrella brand of companies. The PEL's still around, not here in the States anymore. They are sold over in Europe mostly, and all they are is a rebadged Speedrite in a blue case. They're just a blue case Speedrite's all they are. They're nothing like this old unit. This was a very, very reliable unit back in its day. Big. This is a big unit. Weighs like, I would say, it weighs like 10 pounds, something like that. Got a little bit of weight to it. Very reliable. I talked to the guy. He's had this thing since it was new in the mid 80s, late 80s. So this thing's pushing about 40 years old. And I said, has it ever been worked on? He said, I think one other time, a number of years ago, something went bad in it. He said they fixed it and got it back to me. It's been working great. And he said we had a storm here like a year or two ago, and it knocked this one out, I guess is what the story was. He put it to the side. I think he had somebody else look at it, and they said the transformer was bad, and there was no parts made for him, so we had to rebuild or retrofit. And of course, whatever place he sent it to wasn't willing to do that, and they just part swapped factory parts. And since the factory parts are non-existent, he said, well, I don't want you to throw it away there, let me have it back. So they sent it back to him, and now we've got it. So I'm going to test things out, see what we can do with this thing, because this is back, you know, anything electric fence charger wise pushing 20 plus years ago was very well made. Even the cheaper brands were decent for the money. I mean, you can get anything from any brand 20 plus years ago and they would last a long time, you know, a decent amount of time, and they weren't super expensive except for the really good brands, and then of course those were expensive. But they have to, you know, things that are produced today, there's only like, I don't know, I see probably 3 or 4 brands, honestly, that are worth a darn. Some of the brands are just, they should be ashamed of what they're putting out. But they're all about making money versus making reliability when it comes to stuff. As long as the stuff lasts past warranty, it's all they care about, because then it doesn't have to be swapped out or fixed at no charge under their dime. It's, you gotta either pay to get it fixed or throw it away and buy another one, depending on the brand. So we've worked on a few of these over the years, not very many. Usually, just trying to remember how to pull the thing apart. There it goes. So I pull this big white piece off. That will expose all the. Whoops! About to lose it. Let me. Come on. There we go. I'm stepping on the cord. Let me get this cord pulled all the way through the housing here. Doesn't look like much to it, but you got a circuit board's got more stuff on the other side, and then there's a big old capacitor right there. There's more. Oops. There's more stuff to it here. Now there's this transformer here, which possibly could be our issue. They were talking about the capacitor or the transformer being bad. There's our output transformer right here, but he said the unit doesn't click at all. There are a couple fuses over here that we could change out or check and stuff like that, so I'm hoping that we don't run into an issue where we can't fix this thing, because they have this input transformer. I believe that this is a 220 volt, it's 110 cord. I believe it goes into this transformer and I believe it turns it into 220 volt if I remember right. So you got the two cords. Power cord comes in here. There's over two fuses. Off the fuse, back to the transformer. Off this transformer goes over to here. I need to snip something real quick. It's like a, whoops. It's like a zip tie. Right here. I need to see where all the wires are. Okay. You got a wire here. I gotta do some playing around here. See what's going on. Alright, I do not know what size this capacitor is. This is a probably a 40 or 50 microfarad capacitor. But let's check the fuses first. That's the easiest thing to check. That fuse is bad. And that fuse is good. Yeah. Alright, that takes a 1 amp, 250 volt fuse, which I'm getting mighty out low on, and I've got more on order, just haven't gotten here. So we're going to take this fuse, put it back up inside here. Wouldn't that be nice if all that was wrong was a fuse? Of course, the customer can't see all that without taking it all apart, because the fuse holder's on the inside, not the outside, so you don't realize there's a fuse until you take it apart. Let's check it now, just to make sure. Let's check this capacitor. I don't know if I'll be able to check it while it's in circuit or not. 100 microfarad capacitor. Ooh. That might be a combination of this one and this one, though. It's hard to say. Got this output board, which someone's been jacking around with. I need to find the primary of the transformer. Looks like it's these two big wires right here that go to the front side over here, which is right there. Which are these two spots right there. I'm going to check that. 0.1, 0.0, whatever, that's fine. It's just a closed loop to allow the board capacitor to fire. Got this old style. Oh, that resistor is broken. Look at that. What size is it? It is a 10 watt, 100 ohm or 100K. I can't tell. It's kind of wore off. Let's see if it reads anything. 10 watt, 100 ohm, I guess is what that is. Well, we got to get that put back in there. Let's check this SCR right here. Let's see, it should be between here and here. Okay, let's reverse our leads. This may or may not be good. I don't know. Okay, there's a couple more diodes over here. That's good. Another little diode here. That's good. Let me go see if I've got another 100 ohm resistor of a 10 watt variety. Let me give me just a second here. Okay, I do not have another resistor here, but let's see if we can get this board out. You gotta lift it up, a flat screwdriver to get behind here. There's the back side. Now, let's see if we have enough. So technically we could take this right here and solder it to that, but there's not a whole lot of lead left on there. So let's desolder. Let's desolder this spot right here. Clean out that spot. There's some solder on this. Okay, clean off that. Let's see if we can straighten it out. Okay, it sticks to the board a decent enough amount that we can solder it back on. Popped out of there a little bit. Let me put a little pressure on the resistor, heat that back up, shove it back through. There we go. Do it again. There we go. Okay, well, let's snap this back in there. Let's hope like hell that we plug it in, see what it does. I hope it goes to working, but oh, you never know. Clicking. So far so good. Let's take this. And we're going to do peak voltage. We're going to go across the two outside legs up here. Okay, we're only getting 3.6. So output transformer is possibly an issue. Let's flip this over real quick. Now the other thing it could be is this output board right there that's bolted to the case. Now what we could do is remove this board. Actually, no, we're not going to remove it. Let's see, where does this eventually go? It goes to, actually it goes to both points in the board, so it goes both to fence and ground. So we could, looks like someone might have already done this, but I haven't done it, so I'm not going to take their word for it. We're going to heat this up. Pull that wire off. Oops. We're going to disconnect it from this, come on. From this output transformer. off this output protection board. Now we're going to plug it back in, and we're going to put that tester across those two wires, because if this output board's got something wrong with it, that can drag it down. So let's put that right there. Look at this number right there. Let's plug it back in. Oh. Okay, why is it not clicking now? It should be our output. It's not the primary. Or is it? Maybe it is. Okay, so we might have, issues I think still our transformer. So we've got to get that out of there. Okay, so let's discharge this capacitor first, because I don't want to be farting around too much with it, with that big old thing holding a charge. So I'm going to take a big resistor here. Just test across our, put our big resistor across it to bleed that all off there. Alright, let's get this board this transformer unbolted from the frame here. This thing's all nut and bolted together. It's old school. But this thing was a labor-intensive unit to build, manufacture-wise, to assemble. Because that thing's probably why they cost so much. But look how long it's lasted. It's probably a 40-year-old transformer. There's some gunk on the transformer, the head of the transformer, or the bolt. So I'm just going to undo the nut here. This nut has that nylon insert that helps keep the bolt or the nut from backing off over time. Got one down here. Oops. Let's see if I got a wrench that'll fit that. Ah, it might have been Loctite on there too. Okay. Flip that around. Nut down there too. God dang. They really didn't want the thing coming out, did they? But there's like a resin that's in the head of the where the flat screwdriver goes. I can't even put it in there. So let me get. I got a little Dremel, a little rotary tool here. Okay. There's whatever resin was on this. It's all on all of the bottom side of the head of the bolt, and it is not wanting to come out of there. Oh, God. Okay, this one's going to be a pain in the neck. Dremel tool, whatever you want to call it. It's all wound up, wrapped up around my charge cable for my phone. That I use as a deal. Alright, so maybe what we need to do is pull this loose. And then there's a small nut down there. I freaking can't get to hardly. But come on. I would think that let's just see if we just smack it and see if that, whoops, oh, that bulb. Okay, I don't think we need to deal with that. Oh. Just rock, lift, and pull. Come on. There. That nut really didn't matter. Okay, let me see how this is set up here. So we got this board with a fence and ground. We got this wired there. That wired there. Okay, this has a separate windings for our. There's a like high, medium, low output, and how this transformer is set up, you got your primary comes into it. This is our main output for full power and ground, but it has this secondary windings and whatever over here for our half power or medium and low output, and not really needed. I mean, most people never use the half power, full power on a unit, but some had that option. So I think what we need to do is snip. We're going to snip this wire here, snip that wire there, and we're going to our second or primaries are right there. Let's see how much wire. really can't get to it. Whoops. Snip it off here. There's the 40-year-old transformer that's finally met its match. That thing's freaking heavy. It's probably half the weight is this. Probably 6-7 pound transformers. Probably pushing close to 12, 15 pounds. This unit is. This transformer weighs about 5 to 7. Got a little weight to it. All right. Well, we're just gonna set off to the side for now. Now let's let me go over here and look, see what I got for parts as far as transformers. See if we can find one that will physically fit in this case. We got some working room there to play around with. There's only so much height that we got though, so I have to be kind of careful of that. So let me go look around here real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got a couple options here. This is a bad Cyclops transformer. It's an 8 to 10 joule transformer, which would be good for this size unit, but you have to put it in like this most likely. But I think these wires are up too dang high. This is a bad transformer anyways, but this one would probably physically fit. Maybe. It's just a little too dang tall. But this is a bad transformer anyways. It's heavy like that one is, but we got this transformer here. I think if we trim down the lip on this, we can get that one to physically fit in there. This one would physically work too. And we could drill some holes and strap the thing in place. I'm sure we could do that. Let me test the transformer real quick, make sure it's good. I'm pretty certain this is a good transformer. It's over my stock of stuff, but I just want to verify. Okay, yep, it's good. Okay, so what we need to do first is I'm going to take the Dremel tool and I'm going to cut the lip off this transformer here all the way around. That's going to take forever and that's going to stink. So let's just see if we can just cut it in all four corners. And cut in the middle somewhere. Let's see if we can just bend it down. Oh, there it goes, and just break it off. And this will lessen the height of it. Now it's not quite as tall. Oh yeah, it fits right underneath the case just fine. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to put some wires on the front side and solder them there. And I'm going to see if I can just use these mill spades and plug it together. Might work. Okay, let's see. Alright, let's flip this around here. Take this wire here. What gauge wire is this? Not sure. Should be heavy enough though. Let's see. We're going to strip it back just a smidge. Solder iron is still warmed up. We're going to put that right there. We're going to tin the wires. Let's see, one wire went there. I'm just going to refreshen up the solder joint. So get some fresh solder to work with, and it's a kind of kind of get my wires ready to solder on there. There's one. I will separate these wires. I'm not going to keep them together. Okay, turn this one. All right. Cut it kind of long, so I got plenty of room to work with. Shove one wire through that hole. Shove the other wire through that hole. Come on the front side, back side, whatever side it is, and pull those wires through like that. And melt the little notches in there for the wires to go. Yeah, pretty clever. And got plenty of wire to work with. Okay, so we're gonna put the right about there, because we got a bolt. I'm gonna try to reuse this board if I can. All right, let's make the male spade work really well. That'll save us a little time. We're gonna squeeze on it a little bit. Oops. Not that much. I boogered that one up. Let's redo it. Where's my wire strippers at? Okay, snip off excess. That. I cut too deep into that one. Alright, I need my knife, which, I think I saw one in here earlier. If not, I got one outside. I was using the cut boxes open earlier. There's one off. There's a varnish on here. We gotta get that varnish off. The solder will not stick to it. It insulates. Alright, so now what we'll do is we're going to cut these to length. I'm going to put a little space between there, and we're going to move it over to here. We're going to cut and splice, and we're going to solder and heat shrink. That's how I'm going to do it. Cut it there. The black wire. Cut it right here. Okay. Alright, so we're going to coat the wires in solder, and after we do that, then I'll get the heat shrink out on there. There's that. Pull that down just a little bit. That one's coated up. Let's get the red wire here over. Okay. Get the heat shrink out. Cut that in half. Slide that down the black wire and the white wire. Lay them side by side. Heat them up. Since they're both coated in solder, they just fuse together. That got too dang hot to hold. But oh, it looks good though. Okay, I thought I was going to have to redo that one. That was good. Okay, so now we'll slide this over like that. Alright, get my heat gun out. It's right here. Okay, so far so good. I hope that we're on the right track of what we need to do for as far as repairs go. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug it in the way it sits. And how I'm going to fasten this transformer to it, I've got some metal zip ties, stainless steel, ooh, it's hot, stainless steel ones, and I'll drill some holes. I might reuse that hole there. I'll drill some holes and we'll run that metal stainless steel zip tie, and I got a tool that will crimp it, cinch it down, and it cuts off the tail, because those you can't really pull them tight by hand. You gotta use a special tool for those metal zip ties. Okay, so let's hope that I didn't blow the fuse earlier. Let's test that fuse again. Okay. All right, so let's plug it in, plug it in. Click in. Let's put our meter, fence tester, fancy one. Let's put it across two terminals here. So I'm going to plug it for a second. I want to do something to my leads here real quick. One of these is stranded. I want to add some solder to it so it stiffens up and bend on me as much. Okay. Alright, so plug it back in here. Hopefully we get a good, decent voltage reading. Well, I'll get my 5,000 volts, but this, like I said, this transformer might not be wound the same as what the original one was. And I get about 5,000. What kind of joules this thing will throw? Let's put a 500 ohm load across it. A 3.3, 500 ohm load, so a 200 ohm load. It went from about 5.7, 5.5 down to 4.7, so it lost a little less than about 1,000 volts or less. 6.2 joules at 4.3, so I lost about 0.5 volts doing that, so we're up to 6 joule. Let's go to 100 ohm load. We're almost 9 joule output. So I think we're just going to go with it. I don't know if we're going to put this board back in there. I think it's going to load us down too much, and we're going to lose some voltage even more with this board in there. So I think we're just going to remove it out of here. We're also going to get rid of our half power, full power, because this doesn't have the extra winding for it. A lot of transformers got away from that back in the 90s, early 2000s. They got away from this center tap and different tap on the transformers and stuff. We will try to reuse these wires because they're already attached to the full power and ground, so it'll make it a little easier when it comes to, tying things in. So this is, which side is this? This is our, is that our ground side? Oh, it's a full power side, so the whites are ground. Alright, so we're going to cut that there, cut that there. We're going to strip these back. I don't think we're going to have to add any wire to these. We'll have to strip have the same thing here on these ones because they got that coating on there. And if we're going to solder and splice, you gotta get that stuff off there. Okay, so now I gotta strip these back. Hopefully I can make things reach. Snip off the very end of there. That's where we'll pull the whole wire off. I think I'm going to put a different wire on there on this side. I think we'll be able to reach in there and solder on there. I have like a male spade connector in there. I think we can, oh excuse me, get some wire. Got this black wire here, so work solid core, not stranded. And I think we can, oops, strip some of that off. We'll tin the wire. Get up in there and add fresh solder so it kind of reflows everything. Gets us a nice new kind of deal to work with. Okay, there's that. And we'll take this wire, lay it right on top, you know, both up together, and it should just reflow together. How hot! Okay, and this is our ground. No, this is our full power, so we're going to go that way. So we're going to bend this down. It's going to go something like that. So cut this a little long, so a little bit to work with here. Okay. So now we need to tin. That wire's already tinned, so we got to do this one, this one, and this one. Tin all those wires. What I mean by tinning the wires is coating them in solder. So we just touch it there, and we just run a solder right across there, and it kind of, oops, it just coats everything up. Okay, now we need to heat shrink again. I can go a smaller gauge, a smaller diameter heat shrink there. Shove that one down this way. Let's go with that one. This one might be too small. That one ain't gonna fit. A little bit bigger, at least on that one. Black one will work. I don't care what color the heat shrink is, as long as it fits. We did the wiring right. That's what matters. Okay, so yellow was our fence, full power or whatever. I'm going to snip off a little bit of this. We don't need that much exposed. Don't need that much exposed. Alright, so we'll set them side by side together. That looks good. Bring it up around this way. Slide that up like this. Slide that heat shrink up like this. Come on. Okay. So now we got to fasten this transformer down. Alright, got to find my tool and tray to do that. And there's my tool for the cinching down. And what else? I got to find okay, let's see how much. These are stainless steel zip ties I like to use. Let's see, we're gonna. There's a hole right here, which it is big enough. Okay, so we're gonna take this drill bit. I'm gonna go about dead center roughly. Make sure there's nothing on the front side. There's not. Okay, let's see. Have to go a certain way because the way we cinch it down. So we're going to go this way, and then we're going to come around to the front side. grab that, shove it up in that little hole there. Well, where's it at? There it is. And with it being stainless steel, you don't have to worry about it breaking. But see, it's a little too short. So then we take this. Shove it in like that. Come on. There's no way without hurting yourself to cinch that down tight enough by hand. So you got to use this tool. Okay, cut the tail off. That, and it will move a little bit like that, but it ain't gonna break. Okay, so now I think we can start reassembling things. Let's flip this around like that. Oh, that light bulb. It broke. Let's shove it up inside there. Let's see the light actually flash. Oh, it's broke. Well, this isn't an LED bulb. These are what we always called in the business any two neon bulb. I'm actually gonna let's take one for now. We're gonna solder those on there. It's cosmetic more than anything, but if we can make the light flash, and why not? Wrap that around like that. There's that. On the warm side. There's not these do not have a polarity. And those are red and blue. These do not have a polarity to those neon bulbs. Like LEDs do have a polarity because they're a diode. Wrap some electrical tape around there just to keep that from touching that one by accident. Let's go and plug it in and see if that light even flashes. I haven't even looked at that. I could cut that wire. Oh, shoot. Didn't even realize it until now. I don't think it's a big deal. Let's just do this. Hold on. Possibly something's arcing. Shouldn't be arcing. I think it's this freaking bulb. Ooh, that's hot. Well, he might be losing this bulb because there might be that might have had an internal resistor for that bulb on that deal there, and that's protecting it. So let's give me a second here. Okay, I got a couple of different deals here that may work. Might try this one first since it just looks like it's a bigger, beefier one than what that is. Let's plug this back in. Let's see, I'm just going to put it across here and turn this light off for a second. Hopefully this is a bulb that will work for something like this. We'll find out real quick, won't we? Ooh. I'm letting out the magic smoke. Oh, that little thing. Let's try this one. No, it's going to get too dang hot. We're just the bulb is something something to do special with this thing, and we ain't gonna be able to use it on this one. Let's plug this back in real quick. Okay, so it's working. Just they don't have a light bulb anymore. Oh well. Okay, so let's start putting this case back together now. Alright, so we got the cord. Come on. Come on. Should just slide up there. There we go. Wires are getting caught in the back. Come on. Come on. There we go. Alright, where's those little bolts at? Let's see, do I have a socket that'll fit those? I can buzz them on a lot faster. This isn't not too bad. Oh, what a dark. Alright, well I think we're done with this one. My phone says it's battery getting low here. So I'll probably have to call this one quits soon, or I'm going to run another video that's going to end up stopping in the middle of it. Well anyways, this one's done. We'll put the bolts back in there and snug things up, and call the customer and give them a quote. Sure they'll fix it. One of this quality is going to run you $300-400 for a replacement unit, or more, $400 or $500 maybe if you go with another brand. But I wouldn't go with like some Zariba 100 miles, Zariba 200 miles. Things are garbage. Alright, well that's it for now. Until next time, see you guys later on. And have a good rest of your day. Bye.